Hi friends, welcome back to your Module 2 of your 3-week sleep course. I hope you're doing really well. You can contact me. My email is victoria@victoriasplaceonline.com.au, or you can comment on my Facebook page, which is also Victoria's Place Online. So how are things going? Did you manage to print out the table? And have you tried the legs up the wall pose? I just love that pose. It's so good for so many different reasons. And have you set yourself a bedtime and a waking time? And have you taken all of the screens out of your bedroom? But if you haven't, don't worry about it. This email is just a reminder. So today's lifestyle tip, we all know that we need to do 30 minutes of exercise each day. So this brings so many benefits to our time when we're awake, but it also really affects how we sleep at night time. But how do we get around doing this? So many of us spend so much time at work that it really is quite tricky. And if we buy a gym membership and we never use it, we just get those guilty feelings. It just sits there and it's such a waste of money. It really is, if you're not going to use it. So the way that I teach exercise is to try and fit it into your daily life. So trying to have little bits of time that you can fit it into your life. So it just becomes a pattern. It just becomes regular. It's not something extra that you need to add into your busy life. So I'm at home with my kids at night time, so I can't do after hours classes. So I do a lot of my classes online. And I also find little sneaky ways to put in my 30 minutes. I've got hand weights in my pantry, so whenever I'm cooking dinner, I do my arm exercises. I've got a chin-up bar attached to my wardrobe. So each time I walk past it, I try to do a few chin-ups. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm still trying. And the other thing is I have a hula hoop on hand all the time. So if I find that I've got a couple of minutes, I do a little bit of hula hooping, and it's fun, it's interesting, it's challenging to see how further you can get, but it's just a minute or two, so it's not a huge chunk out of my life. On the weekends we always go for a bike ride. I often go for a walk along the beach, so just finding times that you can fit in, perhaps walking to the next bus stop if you're catching a bus to work, perhaps taking the stairs instead of the elevator. We know all of these tips and tricks, but this is just your reminder that it's really important for your sleep as well as for your wake time as well. So we try to fit that 30 minutes into our day. Now, if you like really hardcore exercise, I encourage you to do that in the morning, so that you can start relaxing before you go to bed. So we really don't want to be doing really hardcore, full-on jumping around, full-on exercise just before we go to bed. It stimulates our bodies too much. You might like to be able to fit that into the morning if that's your thing, but then you might like to find a nice stretch or some restorative yoga or some sort of relaxing exercise that you can do in the evenings. Maybe just a really gentle stroll around the block, not a really hardcore run. Because we need to spend this time preparing our bodies to wind down and to sleep well. So today's nighttime tip is the 4-7-8 technique. All of these techniques that I am going to show you, I really want you to practice them before you get into bed, so you can really understand what you're doing when you're in bed, and you don't need to have a screen next to you to remind you of what to do. So this technique was pioneered by Harvard-trained holistic health doctor Andrew Weil, And it's the 4-7-8 technique, and it's awesomely simple. It's an awesomely simple way to relax. So all you need to do is touch the ridge of the tissue behind your top front teeth with your tongue and exhale completely. And then do this breathing pattern. We breathe in through our nose quietly for the count of 4, and we hold the breath for the count of 7, and then we gently blow out through the nose slowly for the count of 8, just making a gentle whooshing sound. And we repeat that process 3 times. So you might like to stop the video here and just practice that. So Dr. Weil says this technique is a powerful technique for falling asleep because it delivers more oxygen than normal breathing into our parasympathetic nervous system. And this becomes overstimulated during times of stress. So we want to relax our nervous system. So just practice this, like I said, a few times before you go to bed, and so that you can remember it at night time. So I look forward to hearing how you went this week, and take care and sleep well.